Hi, nice to see you again. I'm coming to you with a video about some perfumes that I've been enjoying recently, and some of these are very obscure and not for everybody, but some are oldies and quite affordable and mainstream. Hope you like what I'm gonna say. Okay, let's start with like a sort of obscure one that not everybody knows about. So this is one of my favorite fruity ones, and this is called it's by a house called Maitre Parfumeur et Gantier. So basically, Maitre Parfumeur et Gantier means master perfumer and glove maker. So back then, in the 1800s, 1700s, gloves were perfumed in Paris and in places like that because streets were filthy. So, and it smelled, frankly, it smelled bad in the city. So the people that can afford it would have these like perfume gloves, which I imagine they probably held to their nose like this when they went out and the sewage was very bad. You know what I mean? Like during summer or something. So the rich people would, be patrons of this type of business. So basically, maybe that's also one of the ways perfume was evolved. It's like through glove making and perfume were intertwined at one point. No longer anymore, I should imagine. But anyways, isn't this bottle beautiful? This is called Fraiche Passiflore. So it means fresh passion flower. And this is exactly what it is. It's a beautiful passion flower, passion fruit, white floral. And this is just the right amount of floral, right amount of fruitiness. It doesn't get too fruity. It doesn't get too floral. It's really nice. Very refined, very well balanced, and, the perfect fruit for me. It smells like Paris to me. You know what I mean? To me, Paris in French perfume means balance. It's not too sweet and juvenile. It's not too, syrupy and spicy. It's refined and well balanced to me. That means Paris. That means French perfume to me. And this is like one of the epitomes of that. I think like if this was made in America, they might have made it too fruity and too sweet and too syrupy, but this is just perfect. It's like the perfect, what do you call it? It's a perfect texture too. You know what I mean? Not too powdery, not too syrupy, just right. So Fraiche Passiflore by Maitre Gantier and Parfumeur. And this is one of the only passion fruit ones that are really nice, that are restrained. There is another one, but I'll have to dig it up somewhere in my house. But this one is like a master. Check it out if you ever have a chance. Or check out this line if you ever have a chance. Okay, another one, which is very, very accessible and, just delightful. To me, this is a classic. And this is CK Truth. No, this is Calvin Klein Truth. Sorry. I keep, thinking that it's like CK1, but it's Calvin Klein Truth. And to me, it's one of the first ones that I bought from Calvin Klein that made me realize that, Calvin Klein has been doing some really good perfumes. So after I got Calvin Klein Truth, I went and bought Calvin Klein Eternity, which is another masterpiece. But I'll explain that in another video next time. But the reason why I like Calvin Klein Truth is because it was one of the first perfumes that introduced like freshness that wasn't like fake freshness. Back then in the 90s or the 80s, when they talked about green, it was never fresh green. It was always like bitter green. You know what I mean? Like herbal or something like that, or some sort of herbal medicinal green. That's what green was before, because I think they didn't have the technology to make green smell like what it should smell like, kind of water. You know what I mean? Water, freshness, and some sort of herbal. That's what it should be. But back then they could only do herbal. You know what I mean? But this was one of the first ones where I actually smelled a note of actual water, like pure, clean, fresh, lush water. And that's because it had bamboo in it. So it has bamboo, citrus, lemon, I think lilac or something like that, some sort of cool flowers, and vanilla, okay? So this to me is like one of the first of its kind of the fresh perfumes that actually smelled like fresh, like the epitome of the word dewy and fresh. This is what it is. But it's well balanced because it's not bitter, because it has vanilla. It also is, not too floral because it has vanilla, and it also has a little bit of lemon. It has a bit of water. This is really well balanced. So if you're talking about, a masterpiece. I mean, I dare say it's a masterpiece. This is my opinion, but I do say this is a masterpiece by Calvin Klein. And this one is really dark because the vanilla in it got oxidized or something. Vanilla turns darker. It's still fine. I have a whole new bottle of this. So get you a bottle of this, okay? Because I don't think any perfume collection is complete without this. I mean, that's just my opinion. It's quite biased, but yeah. It is what I like. It was quite original when it came out. Speaking of classics, I'll go with another classic. And this is something that everybody has access to this. This is Intuition by Estee Lauder. And this is another one of those fruity white florals that is very well balanced. And it's just like a bright ray of sunshine. You know what I mean? It's like your white floral. It has just enough fruit in it. It's just pleasant. You know what I mean? It's clean, but not soapy. You know what I mean? It's one of these perfumes where after you wore your clothes, it still smells good. You know how like some perfumes, after you wear them, your clothes smells like stale. It smells like BO or something like that. The perfume odor smells cheap. It smells rank. It smells like you had too much fun the night before. This doesn't smell like this. This actually like improves the smell of your old stale clothes, okay? So get you some of this for some, this is very professional too. I can imagine you can wear this in an office and probably nobody could even complain. It smells like the scent of an intelligent, professional woman. This is what it smells like. It's not too feminine, but it's not masculine at all. It's just perfect. Estee Lauder was very good at these type of perfumes where they actually make a lot of effort to blend a whole bunch of notes together to have like an original type of to have a real scent, you know what I mean? Like a real made up scent, not just like a solo note or something like that. So kudos to them for that. They've been doing it for a long time. So give your Intuition a try if you have a chance. I think it's a really nice modern women's perfume, and for a good price too. Okay, let's go to something a little bit more obscure and not that floral. So this is an unknown house to most Americans. Let me just pull it over. And if you see this bowl and you see the bottle shape, perfumer collectors might know that this is actually from the house of Penhaligons. And this is called Zizonia. And this is like one of their old line. So basically they were British. It was a British barbershop, and they had like men's colognes, and then it grew into a British house of perfume. And now they've been bought by the house of Puig. So they're going into this interesting type of kind of renaissance maybe. But as you can see on top, this is sponsored by, two members of the royal family. One is the now passed Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, and then the other one is the Prince of Wales. So, they are the sponsors of, not sponsors, but they use this brand, and they allow their warrants to be put on here. So, it's quite prestigious. So anyways, Zizonia is a very unusual fragrance. So it was probably meant to be like a man's cologne back in the day, because I think this is a very old cologne formula. It's hard to explain, but it's kind of orangey, powdery, like it has cardamom, I think, in it, powdery, and also medicinal at the same time. So to me, this is a very unusual kind of cologne that I enjoy wearing. I don't think that it's not heavy at all to me. To me, it's very comforting. But if you like the unusual orange, cardamom, medicinal, kind of camphoric smell, you might want to try Zizonia just to see what it's like. I had a coworker try this on because she knew I liked it, and she said she wanted to scrub her arm off or something. She wanted to cut her arm off because it was that terrible. But to me, it smells amazing. I have, a broad appreciation of different type of perfumes, but to me it's not unpleasant at all. So if you ever have a chance and you're curious, give it a go. There's a lot of perfumes like this in this line that from the older times that are kind of interesting like this. There's another one called Malaba, and I swear to God, that smells just like what is that lemon iced tea that's really popular? Shoot, I forgot that brand. Like Arizona iced tea. That's what it's like, Arizona lemon iced tea. That's what it smells like, okay? But anyways, here's my appreciation for it. Do with it what you will. Let's do another one that's, you know what? This one is really good for summertime and spring, especially where it's warm. So this is the Jo Malone London, and it's called Frangipani Flower Cologne. And this is like a mellow sunshine, like kind of off to the beach, off to the shopping mall, sitting in the sun with a sundress, sipping iced tea type of vibe, you know what I mean? This very mellow, very sunshine, very yellow floral, that fun summer vibe, but it's not juvenile. It's floral. It's a yellow floral. Good for people that want to make like memories with this type of thing. You know what I mean? It's very mellow, but it's floral, like I said. So it's not like your fruity juvenile floral. It's like your sophisticated lady with a big straw sun hat and straw, like a shopping bag, type of vibe, like this white linen top type of vibe in the summer. So check it out, Jo Malone's Frangipani Flower Cologne. Okay, let's see. Speaking about sunny, how about this? I buy colognes and perfumes because I like to recapture perfumes that I've smelled in my youth. You know what I mean? It's like I call them nostalgic buys, and there's nothing more nostalgic than the sunflowers. So sunflowers is one of these like happy-go-lucky perfumes that I just like, they totally recall spring and summer as a child for me. So even if I don't use much of it, like once in a while I'll spritz one spray on or something like that, one scent of this knocks me into my carefree, happy childhood, running in the sun, running in the streets, having a good old time during summer. It reminds me of like picnics in the park, biting into an icy fresh watermelon on a hot day, eating nectarines, watching baseball games, eating BLTs, all the really fun, cool things that we did in the summer back in the day. This is what this reminds me of. And it's like, just good old times. It's like a sunny, fruity floral, just in case you want to check it out. It's very affordable, so check it out if you want to. It's like inoffensive. Speaking about inoffensive, okay, let's do these. Okay, so I am a big fan of this house. It's called Bvlgari. And the reason why I'm a big fan of this house is I feel like, you know what? This house has it made for perfumes that are just, for that quieter, refined touch. You know what I mean? Sometimes people get too carried away with those strong, blasting perfumes. Like there's some people that just straight out come out and say, you know what? If I can't smell it a mile away, or if it doesn't linger for 10 hours, I'm not getting my money's worth. Well, you know what? Sometimes you can't, I mean, sometimes your body just can't handle that all the time. Like, I like those perfumes. I have an appreciation for those perfumes, and I do collect a lot of those perfumes because I think they have a lot of interesting character. But sometimes, like I said, your body don't want that. Your body wants some of this, and your family members want and friends want like a break from that shit. You know what I mean? They want you to smell, they want to give you a hug. You know what I mean? They want to give you a hug and a kiss, and they don't want to be assaulted by your parfum, right? Especially the ones that don't like parfum. My own beloved younger brother had told me one time, "Can you never wear this perfume again near me?" He said it gave him a headache, and he had to roll the windows down in his car when I sat next to him, so I felt really bad. Because you know what? Let's just put it this way. Our noses gets immune, and we don't notice that sometimes our stuff can be offensive. And if we don't notice that, and we wear the same perfume every day, we start to spray not just 2-3 sprays. We will be spraying like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sprays, you know what I mean? Because to us, we can't smell it. But to other people, it's like, oh my God, here she comes, run for the hills, you know what I mean? But anyways, enough of that rambling. This is Bvlgari Voile de Jasmin. So this one, I try to use it sparingly because I realize this freaking thing is now discontinued. Can you believe that? And this smells like the best clean body woman smell. The woman smell I'm talking about, kind of like cold cream. I hate to keep saying cold cream, but it does smell like cold cream. It smells kind of like creamy and floral at the same time, and warm. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like after you wear a shirt and you just like put it aside, and then the next day, you're thinking about, should I wash this shirt or not? You know what I mean? Because let's just put it this way. I'm not an athlete, okay? I don't really I don't break a sweat. I just sit around, and do my watch TV and do all these things, and I don't smell bad. And what those clothes do smell like is they smell kind of like this, but this is even better. This is like I don't even know how to describe it. It's so refined that I can't pick out the notes. This smells like, it doesn't smell like jasmine, because jasmine is like, let's just face it, there's some aspects of jasmine, if you're being realistic, that are downright like stinky. This is not stinky. This looks like the best part of the jasmine, and like it has a suede kind of like a cashmere sweater, cashmere scarf, warm, cool, rustling silk lace slip, you know what I mean? That type of vibe to it, like pearls, pearls on a pearl necklace gliding over skin, and like a silk slip over a cashmere shawl. This is what this smells like. Okay, clean, sweet, feminine beauty, goodness. You know what I mean? This is what this smells like. Epitome of feminine. And this kind of smells similar, but instead of being suede, it has more floral notes. And this is Bvlgari Parfum. I used to hate this when I was young. Okay, I used to say that I cannot smell a thing about it, but boy, your palate changes as you go around and around in circles. You're basically reacting to what you had before. So if what you had before was too light, then now you want something assertive. If what you had was too assertive before, now you want something light. And that's how life is, you know what I mean? That's how people's tastes are. They always want something different. They always want a contrast, you know what I mean? In order to feel like I've had everything, or maybe that's just me. I'm like a greedy person like that. When it comes to the senses, I want to touch, feel, smell, eat, like basically anything that I can. That seems good, that is, not some gross stuff. But anything that I can experience and I can afford, I will try and get it. I would try to experience it. But anyways, enough about me. This Bvlgari Parfum has a kind of violety, slightly powdery, but it also has mimosa. And I've become to love mimosa because mimosa to me is like a yellow spring floral. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like a yellow spring floral. And then you add in a little bit of the powdery violet, and together it matches very well. So to me, this is like clean, but a yellow floral smell. Kind of yellow. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like lilacs, but yellow, except lilacs are purple. It's like spring goodness. Not as suede and soft and fluffy as this, but still very transparent, light, and good. This makes me happy. Yeah, this is like eating violet flavored candy on a Parisian summer spring day. You know what I mean? And you walk, it's like slightly powdery. It's like, you hear accordions playing like Amelie, you know what I mean? This is what it smells like to me. It makes me feel like. Okay, before you think I'm absolutely crazy, I'm going to hit you with some unusual kind of perfumes that not everybody... it's not up to everybody's it's not to everybody's taste, but it is to my taste. Speaking of Fraiche, this is not Fraiche, but this is green. So this is called Vert de Bois by Tom Ford. And I know Tom Ford is not readily affordable for a lot of people, but you know what? I've seen freaking like testers on eBay for like $10 or something. $10, give it a try. You know what I mean? Not going to kill you. It might change your mind about a lot of things. So these two have changed my mind about oud and about greenness. So this is like, these two are basically, how do you call it? Aromatic green, as in forest green type of incense type of feels. So this has like a ouzo in it, which is kind of like a Greek licorice, like liqueur, and it smells like forest, and this smells like green, fresh incense, medicinal incense that is also green and fresh. These are very good. These are my favorite Tom Fords, some of my favorite Tom Fords. If you have a chance to smell the tester, grab a chance at it. These are kind of masculine. I mean, most people would say they're kind of masculine, but to me, it's not masculine, because to me, a lot of the masculine ones are like those old time Ralph Lauren polo, or, sporty colognes like that had that traditional male cologne smell. These are, on the other hand, are natural smelling notes that are suitable for both men and women. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily masculine to me. It doesn't have that 80s, 90s masculine cologne accord that I hate. You know what I mean? That they all kind of smelled alike. All the sporty colognes, they all smelled alike. And then they had these nasty, like kind of ambery male ones that smelled like salty and warm, like ambery Uranus. I hate those. These are not them. Okay, so if you're a guy or a girl who wants to be a little bit adventurous, give these a try. Go to Neiman Marcus, go to Saks Fifth Avenue, or go to online and get like a sample of these, a legit sample, not like who knows. But anyways, get a sample of these and see if it might change your mind. The problem with these is they're very close to the skin, which is to me good. So don't get me wrong. I'm one of these people that actually likes perfume closer to my skin. I don't want people to smell all my business. I don't like to reject it. I also switch perfumes every day, maybe even sometimes twice a day, so I don't smell the same thing over and over, because I think that actually makes you not able to smell stuff. And sometimes I just take a break and I don't wear perfumes for like 2 weeks or something like that to reset my nose. So anyways, these are Tom Ford Oud Wood and Vert de Bois. Vert de Bois means green of the woods, I think. Literally, my French is not good. I just literally, Vert is green, okay? De Bois, it's like woods. Okay, so speaking of a little bit unorthodox, and this has a note that like many perfumes don't have. I don't think that I've smelled any other perfume or know any other perfume that has a dandelion accord. And this is from one of my favorite houses called Serge, and this is called De Profundis. So De Profundis is the title of a poem. It's kind of artsy. It's basically it's something like, from the depths of my heart I cry out, or something like someone's suffering immensely. It's a little pretentious, whatever. I have 2 bottles of this. The first bottle, I couldn't find it because back when I had the urge to get it, because I was so curious, they did not have, on the American website, they did not have De Profundis around. So what happened is I had to go online to eBay, and I found a bell jar. So a bell jar is like a bell-shaped glass jar, and it, instead of having a spray top like this, it had like a stick, like the plug, the stopper was like, it was like basically, it's like a stick that kind of plugs into the perfume thing that kind of stops the perfume from coming out. So they sold it in that, okay? And it was like really small, and it was a beautiful dark violet purple, like royal blue purple juice. And I got that used off of a seller on eBay for, a bunch of money, of course, since it was hard to get in America. And oh my gosh, it was like love at first dab. So basically the chrysanthemums are associated, I think, with funerals. So I think, like, they kind of play up on this morbid type, not morbid, but kind of like a funereal, like melancholy, green vibe, you know what I mean? So basically the chrysanthemum note is a revelation, and it is both green and moist. It smells dewy and green at the same time. But because it's Serge Lutens, there's another note in here that I smell that is like ink, okay? So to me, it smells like ink and chrysanthemum at the same time. So that's why I really like it. It's quite unusual. It's quite expensive. I had to buy the second bottle. This is called the Gratte-Ciel bottle, and it's like super, super expensive. But you know what? On holidays, Serge Lutens have good, they have like maybe $50 or 25% off or something. So if you really want to get this, go ahead and get it when they're having their sales. They have their own website too. And sometimes you can get these used on like eBay or something like that, if you want to. But anyways, this is one of my more unusual and most cherished perfumes. And I just wanted to tell you about it. This is not for everybody. This is unisex, but if you don't like inky smell, if you don't like a fresh green smell, this is not for you, but it's for me. This is probably more accessible for everybody in terms of smell, but probably not accessible anymore in terms of buying it. This is actually called Shalimar Parfum Initiale, and I love this. I managed to get this even though it was discontinued because it was not gone. All the stock was not gone by this time. So this is a beautiful iris caramel perfume with leather in it. It is amazing. The first time I got it, I did not appreciate it, but now I appreciate how beautiful the iris is, how gorgeous the caramel is, like nicely incorporated in there. It's not too cloying, it's not too anything. If you ever have a chance to see this, Shalimar Parfum Initiale, buy it right away, okay? Buy it right away, because this is like super, super sought after. So what happened is the parent company, Guerlain, they stopped making it, but then all of a sudden they started making it again. But guess where you can only buy it? At their flagship store. And where is the flagship store? Paris. It's at one store in Paris. Can you believe that? So you know what? They're forcing me to go there one day after all this COVID craziness goes away. I'm going to Paris and I'm going to buy this perfume. I'm going to buy like a gallon of it, okay? But the problem is, and I hate this, in order to save money, they made all their bottles the same now. So this unique bottle is never again to be seen. So if you can find the original bottle, snatch it up quick. This is like gold, okay? This is like gold to me. Well, thank you for listening for so long. I realize I babbled for like 30 freaking minutes and I swore quite a bit, so sorry about that. But you know what? I'm sincere and passionate, and I don't mean any harm. I'm sorry if you're offended. But if you're not and you like this, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Bye.